Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the game according to me. We're a little late on the day. We're a day late, and we apologize for that. We had some things going on had to take care of yesterday, but we are back and we are ready to go. So, what we got this week is the usual. We got college football recap and preview, NFL recap and preview, and yeah, that's that's how we gonna get it started this week. So let's go ahead and let's turn on the fun. Well, one of the pros of doing the this podcast on a Wednesday is that you get to the college football rankings. And last night, Tuesday, the college football rankings. This is the third rankings of the season for the college football playoffs. And we got a new number one team is Georgia. Georgia is not a number one team. Ohio State is two. Michigan is three. With all of the stuff happening with Jim Harbaugh and him being suspended by the Big Ten for the games, although he can coach during the week. He's got a trial hearing on Friday, but that does not necessarily mean that you'll get an answer on Friday. So let's see about that. Florida State is fourth, Washington is fifth, Oregon sixth, Texas is seventh, Alabama eighth, Missouri ninth, Louisville 10th, and those are the top 10. And for those, I would think for Texas, Alabama, Missouri, and Louisville, it's going to take multiple losses from everybody from 1 through 6 for any of them to even have a shot at making the college football playoff. So that was that, and I think that's actually a good. I never understood why Georgia wasn't one to begin with, why they had a Ohio State run, but that's neither here nor there. Georgia's now the number one team, the college football playoff. And we got that. We know that Alabama and Georgia will play in the SEC championship game, so it's just now Georgia. All thing left for Georgia to do is just to maintain its level, maintain their level, and we'll see what happens. And they may stay in the top four even if they lose to Alabama in the SEC championship game. So we'll have to wait and see. But now let's go ahead and let's take a look back at this past week in college football. We go back to Thursday. When Louisville beat Virginia 31-24 in a exciting game. Saturday, Alabama beat Kentucky 49-21. Michigan, they had something to prove, running the ball 30 straight times in the second half, beat Penn State 24-15. Tulane beat Tulsa 24-22. Liberty beat Old Dominion 38-10. Arizona beat Colorado 34-31. Prime has lost 5 straight games, I believe it is. Has lost four, something like that. And it's just thing that now people are now calling for Prime to get a shot at the Texas A&M job since that's been fulfilled. But I would like to see Deion. I don't want to see Deion Sanders, just hop from job to job. I would like to see Deion stay in Colorado. Stay for a couple of years, and maybe I think he definitely could bring a championship to the Colorado Buffaloes. And I'd like to see that, and then he can leave. I think Florida State's the best place for him, but we'll all wait and see because it's the SEC. James Madison beat Connecticut 44-6. Kansas State beat Baylor 59-25. Missouri beat Tennessee 36-7, an absolute beatdown of the Volunteers. Washington beat Utah 35-28. Florida State beat Miami of Florida 27-21. Rivalry long gone for those two programs, and you can throw out the records. I'm sure that Florida State was a double-digit favorite, and obviously only won by 7. There you have it. UFC beat Oklahoma State 45-3. That's a beatdown. UFC proving that they belong in the Power 5 conferences. That this is one of their first years in the Big 12. Oregon State beat Stanford 62-17. Georgia beat Mississippi 52-17. That's it, and that's 62-17 for Oregon State over Stanford, and 52 for Georgia over Mississippi. Oklahoma beat West Virginia 59-20. Texas had trouble with TCU, but they ended up beating them 29-26. LSU beats Florida 52-35. Ohio State mollywhopped Michigan State. The year continues to go south for Michigan State 38-3. In the battle of the Victory Bell, North Carolina beat Duke 47-45, and Oregon trounced USC 38-27. Breaking news as I am recording this right now. We'll get back to the preview of the this week in college football in just a second. Breaking news: Deshaun Watson has just been declared out for the rest of the year by the Cleveland Browns. A season-ending surgery on his shoulder for a broken bone for Deshaun Watson, just coming off of that big upset win in Baltimore over the Baltimore Ravens. Deshaun Watson is now out for the year. Unreal. Check all your as you are listening to this, obviously you probably know right now. Find all the information you can on the internet and on Twitter and things like that. Unreal. That's a shame for the Cleveland Browns. A shame for the Deshaun Watson, who seemed like he was getting back probably a little bit normal, and now he's assessed to sit out for the season. They do say that he will have a full return and be back ready for the start of the 2024 season. But as for this season, who knows? So Deshaun Watson out for the year. Talk about that a little bit more when we come up to the games of the NFL schedule. But let's now preview Week 12 of the college football season. Rutgers is at Penn State. The Louisiana Monroe is at Mississippi. That's their little homecoming game. Tulane is at Florida Atlantic. Michigan is at Maryland. Again, won't have Coach Harbaugh there, more than likely. Oklahoma is at BYU. Chattanooga is at Alabama. And you guys know how I feel about this. I hate the fact that Alabama, a lot of these teams, Alabama, a lot of teams in the SEC, some teams in the ACC, Clemson does this as well. This is their homecoming week and their homecoming game, and they put these tomato cans up there, from the FCS, so that they can just blow them out, so that they can have a win on homecoming week, and it's always garbage. I've never liked it. You're gonna have a team like I would service to guess that Notre Dame is freaking Wake Forest, and that's going to be Notre Dame's homecoming game. Is Wake Forest, and so see, I think that's a lot better. So I really wish they would change this so that Power 5 conference teams in Power 5 conferences cannot schedule FCS teams. I really wish they would do that and change that, but I guess they won't. Anyway, Louisville is at Miami of Florida. University of Massachusetts is at Liberty. Appalachian State's at James Madison. Utah's at Arizona. That should be a hell of a game. Georgia's at Tennessee. You usually thought that maybe that might be a game, but after last week when Missouri putting a whooping on Tennessee, this might be the same thing for Georgia, putting a whooping on Tennessee. We mentioned Notre Dame is hosting Wake Forest. North Carolina's at Clemson. That might be an interesting one. Clemson, won the last 2 weeks in a row. Can they upset UNC? We'll see about that. Minnesota's at Ohio State. Oklahoma State's at Houston. Oregon State's at Arizona State. North Alabama's at Florida State. See, there you go again. Their homecoming game, and they're facing North Alabama. Really, although I think North Alabama may be a FBS team, but they're like an independent maybe, things like that. Kansas is at Kansas State. And Florida is at Missouri, and Washington is at Oregon State. See, can I tell you another thing really quickly before we head to the NFL? I'm also kind of upset that a lot of these big rivalry games are happening early and early, like Bedlam was earlier between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, and now like since Oklahoma's and Texas are going to the SEC, I think Oklahoma State and Oklahoma not even gonna play anymore, and that's ridiculous. But that should be the last. That should be next week. That should be rivalry weekend. Kansas State and Kansas should be rivalry weekend, right? Um, I don't know. I think yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure in football if Duke and North Carolina are the biggest rivals, or if it's North Carolina and North Carolina State. I'm not sure, but either way, one of those should be like in the last week. So, and we're going to get some of those. And again, we're going to get Oregon State, Arizona State, Washington State. But still, I wish the whole week we had the last rivalry. So, but there you have it. That's what's coming up this week in college football. Let's head to the NFL. Once again, the breaking news in the NFL: Deshaun Watson out for the year, season-ending surgery on his shoulder. So let's take a look back at Week 10 of the National Football League. The Chicago Bears on Thursday defeated the Carolina Panthers in battle of the teams that made the trade for the number one overall pick last year. And with this win, actually, the Bears have like a now even better chance to get the number one pick this year, as this one will be for the Carolina Panthers pick. And the Bears will have their own pick, which could be also another top 5 pick as well, depending on how they play the rest of the season. We'll wait and see. Bears won 16-13. Over in Frankfurt on Sunday, the Colts beat the Patriots 10-6. 2-8 is Bill Belichick. Once again, Mac Jones got benched for Bailey Zappi. Not sure what's going on there. You thought you never see it. With Bill Belichick, but unreal. It seems to be happening. So that's kind of crazy. The Browns beat the Ravens 33-31. Last second field goal did it for the Browns. And as we've just mentioned a few times already in this podcast, Deshaun Watson now out for the year with season-ending shoulder surgery. With a broken bone in his shoulder. And apparently in this game, he was, starting to look like himself towards the end, bringing the team back, getting them down the field, kicking that last second field goal to upset the Ravens. But now he's out for this year. Tough break for Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. We'll see what they do now. Next, they got P.J. Walker to be the backup. They got a rookie from UCLA, Dorian Thomason Robinson, I think is his name. So yeah, it's a hyphenated name. So we'll see what they go with. If they pick up anybody off the scrap heap, we last week or a couple weeks ago, Carson Wentz was signed by the Rams. So we'll see if anybody else is picked up off the street. Joshua Dobbs, who was now in Minnesota, started the year off in the preseason with the Browns. So that's it might be regretting cutting him now the way Joshua Dobbs has been playing. The Steelers beat the Packers 23-19. Packers are on their way to maybe their first losing season in since Aaron Rodgers' first year as a full-time starter. And while that may seem like unreal, I don't think people should look at Jordan Love and say, well, he's not the guy. Again, what I just say, Aaron Rodgers' first year, they were 500. They were under 500. So I wouldn't go there, especially Bears fans. The 49ers came back off a bye and just destroyed the Jaguars, 34-33. Chase Young, Nick Bosa, and that defense was back on track. Trent Williams was healthy. Deebo Samuel was healthy. And that means Brock Purdy played a better game. The only thing they didn't do was get Christian McCaffrey a touchdown, even though they tried their hardest. And it was understandable they were trying to get him the record to have all by himself, but it's okay. He'll still start a new. Oh shit! He'll start a new streak come this Sunday. Those Minnesota Vikings I mentioned earlier with Joshua Dobbs, they beat the Saints 27-19. Joshua Dobbs played fantastic fantastically last Sunday, and it seems like that this guy he's found the right spot. And with Kirk Cousins, in the last year of their deal, Kirk Cousins being an older guy, they could sign Joshua Dobbs, a younger guy, if he continues to play like this, maybe to a shorter contract or something that would be less less thing. And also, guess what? You don't have to worry about trying to draft a quarterback, trying to get one of the star quarterbacks. Maybe you can get another quarterback later on in the fourth, fifth round, and then sit behind Joshua Dobbs just in case this is like Amon Ross for Joshua Dobbs. Because again, like I said, it seems like quarterbacks go to Minnesota and start having great years. Case Keenum had that 1 year, and now Joshua Dobbs is having one. So unreal. But who's having a fantastic year? How about the rookie C.J. Stroud? A come-from-behind victory against the Bengals. Texas beat the Bengals 30-27. Another 400-yard day for C.J. Stroud. Unreal. He's 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. For a rookie quarterback, that's insane to see about. And he's been playing fantastic, playing fantastically for the Texans, and have the Texans in the playoffs. The playoffs where they stopped today. So that's what you want to see. The Buccaneers beat the Titans 20-6. Talking about a guy Baker Mayfield. Talking about a guy the Browns but still want to have Baker Mayfield. He's been playing very well down in Tampa Bay. He wins 20-6 in a shootout. Worthy of the old AFL. The Detroit Lions beat the Chargers 41-38. As the Chargers scored on all 5 of their second half possessions, and the Lions had to do something on 4th down. The defense wasn't going to stop them, and they didn't like kick a field. They didn't like punt. They went for it. They got it, and then they ran down the clock and kicked the field goal. Lions win 41-38. Lions, I think, are one of the best teams in this league right now. Kyler Murray's first game back showed the Cardinals win. Cardinals beat the Falcons 25-23. Just an unbelievable beatdown. The score was not even close than this 49-17 with the Cowboys and the Giants. Over 600 yards of offense for the Dallas Cowboys. The Giants are they might be right now the worst team in the league, and that's saying something after they was one of the playoff teams last year. The Seahawks had a good drive from Geno Smith. Take down the Commanders 29-26 for the last second drive. DK Metcalf almost was trying to get some last minute yards, but almost got caught up there. But the Seahawks was able to get the clock stopped and kick the field goal. Sunday Night Football, the Raiders beat the Jets 16-12. Zach Wilson seemed like he does seem to have gotten a lot better than last year, but that still might not be good enough. He threw a pick six, not a pick six, but he threw an interception driving down the field as they were trying to get to the touchdown, and that stopped the momentum. And even though they got the ball back, they didn't get it with enough time on the clock to try to do something with it. And unfortunately, there's another loss for the Jets. And it is just a unreal, unshocking loss. The Buffalo Bills lose at home to the Denver Broncos 24-22. Where you just, you can't just make this up. I mean, I don't know what's up happening with Josh Allen. I have always just compared Josh Allen, and I said that I thought that Josh Allen coming into last year was the best quarterback in the league, and that's because he was coming off that amazing game where he drove down the field with minutes to spare and scored a touchdown, and looked like they were going to upset the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City until Mahomes did his magic. But he has way too many turnovers. He has way too many things. I don't know what's up. They have fired the offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. Who knows if that's actually going to make any difference? And really, if you think about it, if they would have 11 men on the field, Ken Dorsey would not have been fired. at the end of that game when they did the fire drill for the field goal team, if the Buffalo Bills would have had 11 men on the field, the field goal kick would have been missed. The Buffalo Bills would have won, and Ken Dorsey would still have his job. That's just unreal. So I don't know what's going on, but and I don't know if there's anything going on with Stephon Diggs. Stephen A. Smith has said that there was he was hearing that there was stuff going on in the season, and his brother Trayvon tweeted that 14 needed to get up out of there. So who knows what's happening with that and everything like that. So and I might there's a part of me that says that might need to be the case. And maybe it's for both of them. It might be one of the good. Maybe Josh Allen needs to be able to spread the ball around. Maybe he doesn't need to be, ball dominant to Stephon Diggs. As good as it was, and maybe as helpful as it was in Josh Allen's development, maybe right now in his development it's a hindrance. And what Josh Allen needs to do is he needs to be able to just play the game and throw it to whoever is the open guy. And not try to force it, because he forces a lot of balls to Stephon Diggs, and a lot of those balls do end up being intercepted. So maybe that's just the case. As we look ahead to Week 11, this coming tomorrow, it's the Bengals and the Ravens. Another game that should be interesting. Both coming off of heartbreaking losses. And we'll see. It's also giving me a good chance to check out Lamar Jackson. Many people have said that Lamar Jackson is starting to play well, and I have said that Lamar Jackson has regressed, and I said it that he regressed from winning the MVP, and he doesn't do the things he needs to do to win to play effective quarterback. Play from the pocket, make the right reads, yada yada yada, things like that. I've never seen it. Now I saw one game this year. I think that was the Pittsburgh game where they lost, and I saw a little bit of the Indianapolis game as one of those games ended, and we get the bonus coverage. But this will give me an opportunity to look at Lamar Jackson, from start to finish, and see how he is playing, and even if he has a bad game, that doesn't necessarily mean that he hasn't changed, but. For me personally, someone who's not a Lamar Jackson believer, I'm very interested in watching this game. Then it comes Sunday. Once again, we talked about it last time we mentioned it. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns they were going to host the Steelers. They still host the Steelers, but Deshaun Watson will not be there. Season-ending surgery. That's a loss of epic proportions right now. And it's unfortunate because it looked like Cleveland was a playoff team, and there was some times that Deshaun Watson he hasn't been playing like himself, like before all the stuff that went down with him, right? But even still, you thought that he still would give that team the best chance to win, and just right now. That's just not the case with him being out, so that's unfortunate. The Raiders are at the Dolphins. The Raiders are on a 2-game winning streak after firing Josh McDaniels. Let's see if they can handle the Miami Dolphins. The Bears are at the Lions. We'll find out today if Justin Fields is playing. Most people think that Justin Fields will play. As a Bears fan, I think they should continue on with Tyson Bagent, because I think we kind of know where Justin Fields is, even though there's all the chance in the world for Justin Fields to get better and to show that he can play consistent football from the pocket. I still personally think that that's more likely not going to happen, and I would want to see Tyson Bagent, but that's neither here nor there. The Titans are at the Jaguars. Both teams lost, and both teams are fighting off to Houston, Texas for the division. So that's someone's gonna have to win here. More than hopefully it could end up in a tie. The Chargers are at the Packers. Packers, you have to continue to win, man. You have to continue to win. And the Chargers are coming in with a high-powered offense. Who knows if the Packers defense can stop them? Cardinals are at the Texans. Kyler Murray Get him back. Can CJ Stroud continue his upward trajectory? Now people are not putting him in the MVP conference. He's obviously got the Rookie of the Year locked up, but now people are looking at him as an MVP candidate. That's another thing about Cowboys at the Panthers. Can the Panthers play enough good defense to shut down the Cowboys? Or right now, Dak playing as well as he is, can he keep this Cowboys offense rolling? Can he get another 400 total offense yard day for the Cowboys? The Giants are at the Commanders. The Commanders, they're not as good as the Cowboys, but this should still be an easy victory for the Commanders. 49ers host the Buccaneers. Their defense is going to be something for the 49ers to deal with, but you'll say the same thing about the Buccaneers. And taking on the 49ers defense, we'll see how Brock Purdy plays, and we'll see what's happening with Christian McCaffrey, see if he gets on the touchdown. The Jets are at the Bills. We know what happened week 1. The Bills, we just talked about it. Ken Dorsey getting fired. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening with the Buffalo Bills right now. Can they stay ahead of the Jets, or the Jets pass them up in the division? And this might be the game to see if that happens. We'll have to wait and see. Seahawks are at the Rams. Sunday night football, the Vikings are at the Broncos. We get the Broncos because in this good win, and Russell Wilson playing well, playing like he used to play. And of course, one of the great stories of this year, Joshua Dobbs, and now going to the Vikings and see if they can continue with them as well. And Monday Night Football is probably this is what you wanted. This is what the NFL wanted, and they did this perfectly. They put this on Monday Night Football to where this is going to be, and you pretty much knew, unless there was some catastrophic injuries, you knew this was going to be it. The 7-1 Eagles against the 7-2 Chiefs, I believe. So, this is a Super Bowl rematch. We're in Kansas City. Taylor Swift may be there. She may not be there. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter though, because this is great football. This is going to be an excellent game. Cannot wait. Eagles at the Chiefs. All right, y'all. So there you have it. The end of the game, according to me. Well, we'll be back next week. It should be next Tuesday, unless anything goes awry. We'll be back next Tuesday with again previews and reviews of college football, the week in college football, the week in pro football. We'll maybe do some stuff about college basketball, not college basketball. We'll talk about the NBA, update the standings, see where everything's at in this, and see where everybody's at that time. And yes, we'll maybe get ready as we got Thanksgiving coming up next week as well. So yeah, a lot of good things to talk about. Hope y'all want to be able to talk about it with me. Push your comments. As always, thank you guys so much for listening. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.